Hi, it's Pastor Paul Anderson from the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. It is Marvelous Monday. We thank God that He's blessed us to be here the second day of the week. As you know, Sunday is the first day of the week. Just on yesterday, we had the time change. Everybody gained an hour, but we also know in gaining an hour, many of us have had some tragic losses in our family. We like to say, may God bless you, may heaven smile upon you. We know that the world has lost two phenomenal men. Sean Connery, the original guy that I call my original 007. We've seen all the movies that he's been in. He has now left this place that we call Earth and entered into eternity, along with that great preacher, bishop, singer, Rance Allen. You know how he sang that song with Kirk Franklin and the group. There's something about that name, Jesus. And all of us will remember these two men who have been just personal images in many of our eyes for years, and we will forever cherish and remember them. We ask your blessings and your prayers for their families. We thank God for all the good news He sends our way. I just personally want to say thank you all for your prayers that were extended to Rabbi Lucy Dinner. We're just so grateful that she's been sitting up in bed. She's been talking. And I tell you, God can turn it around. Somebody said, won't He do it? Yes, He will. Will He? Won't He? Yes. We thank God for all the powerful things He does by way of performing miracles in our contemporary times. And thank you all for all of your prayers. Let's continue to pray. As you know, tomorrow is Super Tuesday. And please get out and do what you're supposed to do. Those of you who've already voted, thank you so very much for doing it. And those of you who will vote on Super Tuesday, we thank you and may God bless you as you go forth to do what God has called you to do. Let's hear what God has to say to us from and by His holy word. In the book of Joshua, the 4th chapter, beginning at the first verse and culminating at verse 21. It's a very powerful message to all of us. It's a message that does almost a reaffirming of the Israelites. Now remember, when Moses had led them into the promised land, when they crossed over the Red Sea, they did something that was so powerful. It was a point in which they marked their crossing. And so now our text today finds itself that Joshua, who is the new leader. Remember, Joshua was the apprentice of Moses. He was the one who helped to hold up Moses' arms. And he was the one that God would allow to be the leader following Moses. Now, Joshua takes the Israelites to the place in which they're about to cross into that new land, that land of promise, but they have to cross the Jordan. This is a river that they had to cross. And in the process of crossing that river, God had him to take every man from the 12 tribes of Israel to place a stone in the middle of the river. And so I want to ask you the question, what do these stones mean? What do these stones mean? Well, these stones were placed there to be a reminder to Israel of where God had brought them from, how they had crossed from one territory to enter into a new one. But in order to get there, they had to go through some water. In all of our lives, there's some turbulent waters that will flow, but we also know there's some calm and peaceful waters. And in the crossing of this Jordan River, they placed these 12 stones. And the reason it was that by placing these stones, every time they see them, they will remind themselves where God has brought them from. My brothers and sisters, we need to remind ourselves where God has brought us from. He has brought us from our life of not knowing Him, not walking in what He has for us until this new way of life. Also, it was a reminder for them to tell their children. So whenever their children passed by the Jordan, they would ask the questions, what do these stones mean? These stones are a living memorial of how God has done awesome things in our lives. When our loved ones pass away and we bury them in cemeteries, we know that there is something there that we call a tombstone. It's a stone to mark, here lies the remains of a certain person. But these stones are to say, here is the story, Israel, that God did just what He promised He would do. He will lead you into the promised land. He will be with you. And now tell the story to all of the generations to follow. I want to ask you the question, do you know what the stones mean? And if you do, pass it on to the next generation so they will fully understand and know what these stones mean. We thank God for you. May heaven smile upon you. And remember, you are exceedingly and abundantly blessed. And I'll see you on Tuesday.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for your prayerful support and all the things that we have done in ministry to help so many others. We thank you so very much for your generous support in times past, and we thank you for your present support and what you will do in the future. May God richly bless you, exceedingly and abundantly above all that you're able to ask, say, or think, according to his power at work in you. God bless you.